Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we were going through the Glass House update and Going Green DLC patch notes. We also checked out in-game the sort of things you can place and the additions, and that gives us a rough idea for what we want to add in the upcoming series. This is episode 1 of said series, where we're going to go through and plan off the majority of the prison, so placing in the buildings, the walls, fences, some pathways, maybe even denote some areas with certain like rooms and such, but with no building, very little building if any, I guess, because that's the general overview of it. Either way, let's go ahead and go to create new prison, and we're going to set up all of the options here. We're going to go with a male prisoner set with one of the new wardens. We've got the Botanist and the Ecologist. The Botanist is... well, it says increases the export price of each crop, the chance for crops to drop seeds, and also extends the wilting and spoiling time for growing crops and harvesting ingredients. That seems like a nice little safety net, and as I've not actually used the full farming stuff in the game, I think that would be quite a good one for us. The other one, the Ecologist, is based on green energy, increases the power output of all green energy sources and also doubles the value of both exported energy and recycling. I should point out that we are going to try and go for a self-sustainable facility, so we're going to grow most, if not all, of the crops in the facility for prisoners' needs, and also we're going to produce on site all of the power that we need as well, but we won't be doing that at the very beginning, mainly for research purposes and bureaucracy, but I'll cover that later on. Anyway, Botanist is what we're going to go for. Guard dogs, we have the Bowtie Bandit and the Shepherd. We're going to go with a Shepherd because they're a clever girl and it also fits in with the farming theme. Warden mode, certainly not. We're going to go with a medium map. I'm normally a fan of the small maps and then expanding, but I think because there's so many unknowns, to me at least, with the farming, I don't know exactly what size we need. I think medium to give us enough space. Also, that doesn't mean we can't expand later on, so there you are. Fog of War, I'm going to turn off because although it makes it a little bit easier for us, it's just better. It just aids in viewability. You can see it a lot better. It just looks better, so there you are. We're going to go for a jungle plot because we haven't done that, I think, in a previous series, and it makes it a bit more interesting. We're going to go down to probably generate forests, yes. Land expansion we're not having on. That doesn't mean you can't expand. It means that it doesn't expand at the beginning. Things like island plot and all of that we're not going to have on. Lakes, no. Buildings, no. Fairly conditions are on. Gangs I'm not going to do because this is going to be a low or medium risk facility. I had a quick Google around and such to see if sort of farming prisons exist, and apparently they do. Arkansas, Texas, Colorado I think has some as well. They seem to be quite a ubiquitous thing, especially in the States. I'm assuming other countries have them as well, but either way, that's what Wiki told me, so it can't be wrong. Gangs, as I said, keeping off. We're not going to go with criminally insane inmates. We've got dynamic reputations, have the chance to gain or lose unique reputation traits during their time in prison based on their activities. We'll turn that on because that makes it a bit more interesting. Events we're going to turn on. Prisoner transfers I'm going to turn off. I just don't want to be dealing with the transfer stuff, although it is interesting. We have done it in previous series, so yeah, we'll leave that one off. Weather and temperature we are going to turn on because I think that sort of fits the theme of this, even though I'm not particularly fond of the temperature mechanic. At least we can place it in, and I'm assuming that's just going to be me forgetting about boilers again. Staff needs we're going to keep off because I've had more than enough problems with that on. Escape plans are going to be on, certainly. We're not going to have unlimited funds, we're not going to have everything unlocked, and tools and cheats are off as well. So let's click play and we will load in, and there is our plot. So first things first, reports, intake, close that intake off there. We are going to go over to our objects right to the bottom here and then dismantle, and I'm just going to dismantle all of these trees. We just don't want them here because what will happen is, well, we'll sell them and then we'll gain money. At least you can click and drag now with this, which is really, really good. So there we go. That is now dismantled. We will then go to rooms, exports, and then just place some exports here for now, and then unpause it and let the workers crack on. So planning, let's go ahead over to planning and then walls, and we'll put a wall all the way along the outside here. We are going to have a bit of a barrier between the fences. The difference has to be 10 from the far end. I'm going to go with 12 just to give us a little bit extra there, because why not? We do have the space. So it is 10, and then the wall goes down like that. So we will zoom out, bring the wall all the way down to the bottom like so. Once again, measuring up to 10 and then straight across. Obviously we are wasting a little bit of space here, but we have got also quite a bit of it too. So there you are, that goes along to the end. And then this one also goes along to the end. Okay, excellent. Let's measure right across. That is 120, so we want to find the 60 mark, which is going to be in there. So then that should be the middle. I'll just double check the measurement of that. That is 60 to that central section, and then 60 to that central section. So basically that is the direct middle, so that is where we can have our entranceway. I'm just going to put in these lines in here to denote that that is the middle. So we're not necessarily going to go for full symmetry, although I do like to do that, but that is now in. I should probably delete the CEO's letter because we've read that more than enough there. It's saying accept our first grant. I mean, we could go for things like basic farming, overproduction, basic detention centre. I mean, that's the standard one there. And yeah, that'll do us for now. Let's give us 50 grand. But to be fair, if I go to max speed, you can see the workers are rushing over, chopping down these trees, and then they will take the tree stumps to the exports, and then we start gaining some money anyway. So that's pretty good. Anyway, we're going to check out our planning here once again, and we'll have to think on what sort of things do we want to have in the prison, what sort of buildings, etc. So to clarify, it's going to be a low to medium risk facility. We're not going to have high risk, and we're not going to have gangs. I think you can turn them on if need be, but we're going to not bother with that for now. As I mentioned, I did have a Google around, and these facilities do exist. I don't think a super high risk one would necessarily work, but there's no reason why we couldn't have it in game. But I found that maybe a low and medium risk one would be better. Still unsure exactly what, but we'll plan it off. In terms of amenities, we will have quite a few, I would think. If we check over our rooms here, we're probably going to have things like the chapel, parole, we'll have visitation, naturally, common room, all of the standard stuff. But I think we'll also go with maybe library, classroom, mailroom, shop. We'll probably have most of those. Gymnasium, maybe not. I don't think that's something I will focus on. There's probably enough hard toil to be done in the fields, quite honestly. Infirmary and security, yes. Workshop, probably not. We'll go with, like I say, the orchards and the pantry and the flower garden. But anyway, as we can see, the workers are cracking on to do all of this. I'm going to probably hire a couple more workers, because why not? And that will allow them to work there. What do we want to do in terms of buildings? Well, we do need things like admin and entranceways, but let's sort of take it one at a time then. Let's go over to planning and walls, and this will be our main entrance. So we'll have doors there, so we'll rotate that round, and then doors there. This will be metal detectors in the middle there, and then the walls will sort of cut off there, and this will go up and around, and we'll have in here probably the reception area. So this is reception, people come in and yeah, do all of that. We have possibilities for staff-only areas and visitation areas. We could have, I think, maybe this extended up and right across, and even go potentially just to there, and have that as a quite a large building. Now, what sort of internal size are we talking? 14, quite large in fact, but that's okay. And these two areas will be, well, they'll be staff-only, probably down the bottom, and then things like the visitor areas at the top. That's not set in stone. That's just a rough idea of what we want to have there. The prisoners will then come out here. In terms of food and that sort of thing, I'm not too sure where we're going to have the canteen and kitchen, but let's just work on this idea. So if we have a double door there, it's going to come down. We'll have to have a storage area, so I'm just going to denote that as storage. That is 6 by 11. Seems fine, I guess. We're going to have... what else do we need? We need a place for the officers and for the staff room. Staff room will go in here, so that can be a staff room. A little bit larger than the other one, but it matters. Actually, is it? It is a little bit larger than the other one. Let's just make it a 6 by whatever. There we go, 6 by that one. And then another room of the same thing, actually. So it's 6 by 11. That's going to be storage, staff room, security, kennel, technically. We could have indoors. I could put that there if I really wanted to. Armory I haven't got in, so I don't know if we're going to have armed guards. Yeah, maybe armed guards need to be in here as well. So another building of that size. We're already losing more space than I thought we would. But we've now got this quite large area, which I was intending and hoping we could get in the 4x4s. We can. Let's see if I can get 4x4s in both sides. This is going to be offices, or these should be offices, should I say. And 4x4, that's 3x4. Might have to just shrink that a little bit to have those offices in. And then same on the other side. We can have offices there as well if we wanted to, although I'm tempted to have them maybe like this. There's our offices there. Now I will shift them over by one, like that. Because we've got offices in here, and then this is where we can have an entrance, so you can get the staff coming this way and around. Okay, again, this is all rough planning, very rough. This area then, we will have visitation. I quite like a large visitation. I think a 14 internal is sufficient. Followed by all manner of buildings along here. It'll be things like the church. I want to make that probably 7. 7, that'll be classroom. That'll be whatever, shop maybe. And then we'll have this as an infirmary and a morgue. It actually fits in quite nicely, that. We don't necessarily need this way in, but it's what we're going to do. And then the morgue will go just on the... Actually, you know what the best possible thing we could do, maybe, is have the morgue back there. So this is all infirmary. And then this will be morgue slabs. So, I mean, we're going to have, like, doors, door. There's the morgue slabs across there. In terms of doors in here. Let's say rough planning only. Like that. And then doors, doors. All the way across. And doors in there like so. Just double check they're internal. 4x4, which is fine. We just double check rooms. Office. Office, 4x4 internal. Yeah, we're good. Alright. So that is the basic outline there. That's fine. We now need to have, I guess, an area for prisoners to eat, and also a place for the prisoners to stay, because that is quite important. I guess if we wanted, we could have... I mean, this is a bit different, which I'm all for. This. Obviously, I haven't figured in the ways in here, but it'll be door, door. Oh, no, no doors there. There won't be any doors at all, because that's staff. My mistake. Right, back here then. Let's go for a kitchen and canteen. So, 4 there. And I think only 10 is required. Yeah. Don't know what size of prison we'll have. That seems to be reasonable for a kitchen, but I'm just going to expand it by a couple more, I think. Just a couple more. I'd rather oversize the buildings, as I usually do, than undersize them and then struggle later on. So that is potentially our kitchen. I was then going to have a canteen like this. 14 internal. Yeah. 14 internal. Yeah. And have it 14 to there. And that is our canteen. Now, I will acknowledge that that is massively oversized, but it's not just going to be Canteen. We will have probably because of the size, it's a very strange size. 14. It might actually go 16, make it even larger actually. Because this will have like toilets in like both corners and such, and then also phone booths. So there's going to be a lot of things in here that are different. Double doors will go there. Double doors will go there, which is staff doors. Probably a single door either side with a wall there. This is where we have our double door setup. If you've not seen that before, we have like a standard staff door and then a really strong door to stop people breaking in. We'll probably do the same thing back there, and it means we can have recycling bins in the corner or something like that. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So this is, even though it's inside the prison, it's quite secure in terms of its positioning and such. Okay, that's in. We will have, I think, in... Oh, that's my mistake. We'll have the entrances like this, actually. And what that allows us to do is have metal detectors like that, followed by doors. And obviously pathways will run around. I shouldn't really have to put these pathways in, but, you know, I have the option to, so we will do that. And there we go. Door there as well. So these pathways go around like that. And there we go. Okay, so we have kitchen, canteen, and these are obviously metal detectors and doors. It means you can go straight through. Don't necessarily need that, but if, for example, there's food here, they have all the eat time, finish that, free time, well, they're going to go over here, aren't they? They want to move over, so there you are. I can already tell I need more buildings for things like parole and shop and such. I know I'm going to need some more. We'll work that out as we progress on. I'm not opposed to visitors coming into the facility. That's something I wanted to sort of have. This as sort of not an open prison. It's not an open prison, but it's where the visitors they don't have to stay in these corridors. But the ones that'll be most travelled will have that. But things like parole, maybe they can come further inside. Same for different visitors. I don't know. I haven't yet fully decided, but yeah, they get the idea. Hopefully. Anyway, in terms of our prisoners' accommodation, let us work on that. I'm planning on... I was going to go with the sort of separate chalet type of approach where we have something like that. And we've done this many a time in previous series where we have like these things here where we'd have that, so it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, probably another one, 10 cells, probably a little bit wider in the middle, and then a shower at the back. And then I realised that going with all of the farm stuff, it gets too much like encampment area, and I don't want to be steering. I don't want to steer the whole thing towards that. So instead, we're going to have probably a block. I think around here. Maybe. Let's see. I want it that size. And the prisoner's cells will be on this side. But I'm going to do something different with these cells. And I think that is what we're going to do. Is that right? No, that's not right. I want to have it so we have the cell laid out in such a way that they'll have all the standard stuff in here: bed, toilet, door, light. You know, we're spoiling them with lights, I understand, but still. But then we'll have also a shower and toilet set back here, which means that a similar thing has to happen in this corner. But does that mean I have to then do that for every single one? Like that? No. So, how am I going to... No, because that can go straight across like that, can't it? And then we can do that. Is that saving us some space? So, for example, it would be... Door. Door. Shower and toilet, shower and toilet. Say, bed. Bed. Something like that. Yeah. Obviously, it's asymmetrical into design, which means the plumbing is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, plumbing is going to be a nightmare, actually. I've just... that's just hit home, actually. Plumbing is going to be problematic. But is it the right size? They're both 5 long. They have to be 5, I guess. Do they? Do they have to be 5? Yes, they do, yeah. In order to fit in properly, I think they do. Right, let's see if this actually fits in. Because I don't know if it will. So, let's see. I think that's the right layout, is it? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. So it's 1 block. 2. Once you've made one, you can just copy it. 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Today's beverage is a nice cup of lemon tea. All right. That is fate. I mean, there's probably something wrong in the plan, and I'm sure you'll point this out in the comments, but still, that is what we got. That's what we're going to have going on. Okay? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. So we know that the OD is 17. So what sort of walkway do we want? I think we want 4, followed by 7 OD. So that... Is that correct? 7, 7. Alright. Can't have metal detectors if we do that. So we may expand it somewhat. And have it as that. So it'll be 6 before the wall. A little bit annoying there, but no dramas. 7 OD outside diameter there. That going along. Same on both sides, yeah. So it will be doors, which are most likely going to be locked open. Metal detectors. And if we're going to mirror it, it would be that, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think. I'm going to draw one just to see if it's correct. Like I said, plumbing will be a nightmare, but I think it gives it a little edge. And it means that we don't have to have a separate shower blocks. Well, hang on. Was that a mistake? That was a mistake. They say there might be mistakes in the design, but that's why we sort of plan this off before we crack on with the building. Yes. Okay, let's... I think that's correct. It's looking about right. Pathways straight along, once again. We'll have pathways going along, like that. And let us remove that. And see what sort of size we've got going on here. It's a 50 by 20. Well, that's easy to remember. 50 by... What was it again? That's 20. I know it's 20. And 50 by 20. And 50 by 20. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Okay. So, sort of 80-odd prisoners? Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 times 3. Hang on, that's wrong. There we go. Okay, that's more prisoners than I thought I'd have. But that's what we'll have, and we'll do that. Okay, so we have those in there. This is the walkways. And what is all this going to be? Well, quite frankly, it's going to be a fence. Like that. All the way along and around. And in each of these areas will be farms. What type of farms? What amenities? Not amenities. What building things do we need in there? I have no idea. But that's what it's going to be. We'll have vegetable farms, fruit farms. They will require, obviously, setup. But that's the size for that. I do think that we can shrink this wall down a little bit. Because these farms generate a huge amount of contraband. Particularly like shovels, spades, other digging implements are also available. So we're going to have metal detectors coming out here all the time. So I don't really care whether we have people coming in here and getting contraband and coming back out. But then again, opening those floodgates, do I want to do it? I could just shrink it down by a couple and still have that security. But we're going to be searching people as they go out anyway. That's a thing, actually. What we could do for this, we could bring, if we wanted to, we could bring this right to the edge. This is just, we're just talking. And have these as big farms, big farm areas, tracts of land. But at, say, different intervals, we'll have, if I can find it, because it's now massive, this list. Actually, is it in utilities? No. There's a one-way checkpoint. And it's not called it is called checkpoint. Checkpoint, a checkpoint station for searching prisoners and visitors that pass through. Prisoners can only pass through a checkpoint in one direction, must be manned by a guard. Yeah, we could have it like that and have checkpoints. I'm trending towards that idea. Let me know what you think, actually, on that one. I'm trending towards that. It's not going to be a while before we build... Sorry, it's going to be a while before we build this anyway, so we've got loads of time to change that up. But it's either going to be this, or I'm going to... What's that? Notebook page. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. No notebook pages. I formatted my computer just before Christmas, and all the notebook pages and everything else are just gone, so I have to start again fresh. I should have backed those up, but it wasn't a problem. Luckily, most of the saves I did back up. But some of them weren't. Some of them said they were cloud saved, and then they weren't. Shame. Anyway, I digress. So yes, it's either going to be this big open tracks for farming, or we're going to have this around it. I'm very much thinking that. But let me know what you think, and, you know, we'll be building later on. Okay, let's have a quick rundown of some of the things in the facility. So, rooms. We have cells. Yes, we have, what was it, 28 times 3, quite a lot of them. Holding cells, no, we're not having any. Solitary, not yet, but it's going to go around the back here. That's what this building is going to be. Canteen and kitchen, yes, they are in. Showers, we're not going to have because each individual room has the showers. We are going to have yards, which, oh, yards are not in. Right. I will probably then... That is an oversight. I will probably have that as a yard. Yard on both sides, like that. Or I could have it coming, say, up there and along like that, and have a yard, big yard here. Something like that. I've not yet decided, but I'm going to put those in there and say those are the yards. Whether or not we have walkways around, I haven't yet decided, but let's just, for now, say, yeah, we've got some yards in. Storage, yes. Deliveries and garbage, yes, but we will be shifting them to the other side of the pathways. What I should probably do, actually. Prisoners, no, staff, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sack 4 of those because we've just used them to take the trees out. By the way, we have 188 grand, so it shows you just how much cash you can get by taking out all of this. It is a medium map with jungle plots, so we're going to get some of that. And also, there's loads of logs. The second also was not required. There's loads of logs all over the place, so we're going to sell those manually when we come along. Anyway, rooms, back to that. So yard, yes. Storage, yes. Deliveries, not yes. Workshop, we're not having one. Security is potentially one of these here. Officers are down the bottom. We may require some more officers, but 6 is good for now. Infirmary and morgue are up the top. Yes, it is in here. We have not yet got a common room, but most of it I can probably fit in near the canteen. We will probably put one back here, but I'll check that out in a moment. Laundry, no. Visitation, yes. Cleaning cupboard, no, but I'm probably not going to have any. Kennel and armory are potentially over here, as is the staff room. Library, we could put in, say, here, but I don't know if we're having one yet. Forestry, no. Classroom, yes, one of these buildings. Same for the chapel. Exports is currently in, but we're going to put that across the other side. The parole we don't have, so that's another building that I'll need to place somewhere, probably here. I could probably place it in here, maybe extend this. I could, if I wanted to, extend this to go along and then up, and then have some parole in this area. That's not a problem at all. Reception we have in, yes. Mailroom, no. Shop, no. But again, they could go here. But I'm feeling now that there's probably 1 or 2 buildings that we need more space for, and I think we will end up maybe expanding it to this side. Yeah, we are. I'll plan that in a moment. Padded cells, none of those. Psychiatrist, no. Gymnasium, no. We're probably not going to have one. Vegetable, fruit, and farming fields, we're going to have in here. And pantry and flower garden will also go in this area. Okay, so let's just go to planning and then walls. And I'm going to put a wall right across there. And then have this going across. And then down once again. We're going to remove these and have that removed. This is going to be a bit where we can have buildings in here, so we can have potentially laundry and parole on here. Haven't yet decided, but that's the rough idea. Pathways we will run across and like that. Is that a big enough yard? How much is it? It's 12 by 18, so for the amount of prisons that we have, it may be a little bit too small. But we've got 2 of them. It should be fine. But we shall see. Naturally, we will need a door there. We can remove those. Like I say, these I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be, but they're just rooms. This is probably the shop, actually. That's a nice area for the shop. But we will need an entranceway in there as well. What else were we going to do? Yes, it is walls, and walls will come along. Actually, objects first. There's our morgue slabs. It'd be better actually on this side, wouldn't it? Like that. Oops. Like that. Door there. Remove that. Actually, door there is all right, but I think I'm going to put it there. And then morgue slabs, like that. And this is our infirmary. Okay, good. It also means that we'll do something here. Oops. Walls. And this is going to be the power room, because at the moment we don't have any power or water, so this is going to have that. I also have to heat all of this as well, because we've got weather and temperature on. So, yeah, that's going to be a thing. So, doors. Doesn't really matter where it goes, but door there. Okay. That's not too bad. Up here then, we need like a common room, and we need some solitary. I'm going to assume that... Oh, we also need a laundry as well. I think maybe one of these can become a laundry or something. One of those rooms. I've heard some people suggest you put the laundry right next to the kitchen and have people coming straight through. I'm not too fond of that, but we'll have a think. I'm also aware that if we're having this building here, we can extend it to that, couldn't we? Because it means that nobody is... there we are. This stops being thrown over. Realistically, though, if we've got this going to the edge, we then don't need this bit either. So we've literally just got an open area with fields and stuff, and you have to come through. You know what? I think that might be the case. That might be something we can focus on like that. Huge open area, fields. Get rid of the fence entirely around the outside. It means we have this big building at the back for whatever we need. Common room and other things. Maybe even workshop. So, I mean, you can see the space we gain. But also, that's a huge amount of contraband. Okay, well, you know what? I think I don't really want to plan too much further than that. I think that's about right. Let's speed up to max speed and get some daytime on here. I had it paused all this time, so I don't know why. That's going to be our very rough planning. So unlike previous ones where we've planned off every meticulous detail, we haven't got that throughout this. It's roughly there. It's where I want to see it. So I'm happy with that. Overall, different to what I've done previously. We've got the new farming stuff in, and we've got a lot of amenities and other extra bits in. So overall, happy with what we've done as a first step, and it is a first step only. So we'll leave it there for this planning episode. Obviously, leave comments and suggestions, feedback, etc. And I'll try to incorporate those for the next build if it's obviously left and done in time. And next episode, we will start the building. It will be things like the basic detention centre, administration centre is what we'll go for first, and then start unlocking things from bureaucracy and stuff like that. The main thing is we haven't yet decided what these buildings at the back are going to be. Almost certainly we're going to have a common room, may even go for a gym now because we've got the space, but I'm thinking common room. We need a solitary area that's going to go at the back as well. Whether or not, I don't know whether I want to go for this, so we have quite small farms with the decent contraband safety net, so we can't have stuff thrown in, or whether we just go a big open field like that and accept stuff's going to be thrown in, but then obviously we'll have to have, like, say, checkpoints here, so you go in one side, do the work, and then you come out the other, and there's checkpoints where you're searching. I'm leaning towards that, but I would like your thoughts on the matter, and yeah, we will leave it there. That, obviously, depending on what we do, it'll then alter the shape and design of this bit down the bottom. So, yeah, there you are. That has been a bit of Prison Architect. Hopefully, it has been quite interesting, and I like to leave in all of the sort of thoughts and processes and warts and all, as they say, to show you the process and what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. Hopefully it's will inform your builds and you got something out of it. So yeah, next episode we will crack on with said building and hopefully see a fair way through the grants and some building. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the episode and for what it is, the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.